Self care is not selfish. You must prioritize you and put your mask on first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're doing the things that will fill you up so that you're able to pour into others. Self care is not selfish. To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin. Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I'm your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JoyfulStylez.com. Let's go. Let's go. I am super excited to be here, of course, and to really dive into this topic today. Man, I mentioned before that I have a different type of relationship with this word I'm going to use, but let me just tell y'all what it's about today. Today's topic is self-care is not selfish. Again, self-care is not selfish. Again, in a previous episode, I mentioned how I have a totally different relationship with the word selfish. But today I'm going to be speaking from the idea of what most people view as selfish, because I feel like it'll help a lot of people that way. Again, if you want to check out what I think about selfish and etc., just again, binge listen to previous episodes, and I mentioned it before. But today I just want you to know that it's important, very, very, very important that you prioritize you. You are a priority, and it's important that you act as such. Many of us have been on an airplane. Some of us have been on there so much that we probably know the safety video and procedures and the motions, all that by heart, right? And some of us probably tune it out at this point now because we've listened so many times, and it's just we know it, or you just don't really pay attention. But one of the most important things that I believe that the flight attendants explain during their briefing is that in the unlikely event that they lose cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will drop down. Please put your mask on first before helping the person beside you. Right? There's a reason that you must put your oxygen mask on first. There's a reason you must put yours on first, okay? Reason being is that you're too busy attempting to help everyone else and do all these things without taking care of you first. It's a really good chance that you won't hit your goal of helping everybody else because there will be no you to help them. Right? Some of you may not get that. Some of you may not believe that. I don't want you to try it, right? Don't go out here and try that today because it won't be pretty. So it's important for you to put your mask on first, because when your mask is on, you can function. Oxygen is flowing. Like you can really do the things that you really want to do ultimately in helping someone else. But again, if you pass out, now not only does someone else, but you too, both of you now have to be saved. right? Put your mask on first. Really? In your everyday life, I just jumped right into that part. Just thinking about this. In your everyday life, what that looks like for you is maybe you don't start the day with doing 50 million things for other people. Maybe you start your day with doing something that's beneficial to you or something that brings you joy, brings you peace, brings you happiness. Even if that's like for some of you who have kiddos, even if that's 30 minutes before you know the kids are going to get up, taking that time to have some me time. Again, I talked about that before. Having that me time, that time where you just whatever, doing whatever that you need to do to really get you in, like, let's go, get you in the mood of the day, set your whole day right, right? That could be anything, some that could be meditation, praying, that could be reading a book, that could be just getting yourself together. That's like groom, get your morning groom session on, right? Whatever that looks like, to be in peace, in total peace with just you and whatever it is that you decide to do. It's important that you get what you need to get done first. Like, it's a must. Stop neglecting yourself, thinking that everyone else around you is more important. They're not. Because without you, there is no you helping them, right? Whether you want to hear this or not, right? Unfortunately for you, God forbid, something happens to you. You know what would happen? All those people that you're looking out for and that you're taking care of what they need before what you really need and desire, they're going to get that assistance or help or whatever it is that they're looking for from someone else. But you are irreplaceable for you, right? We're not talking about all these in these other situations. I can go down on that. I just saved that for another podcast. But for you, there's only one you. God made you unique, and it's only one you. So, again, put your mask on first. Period. I could stop the podcast there, but I got some more for you, because just I want this to really sink into your soul, and that you really hear this message and operate as such, thinking about it differently. These people gonna get taken care of because you're dope like that. You gonna make sure things get done, taken care of. But I need you to take care of you first. We are like, there's so many people that want to give out to others, and that's great, because that's part of, like, me, that's in my core. I love helping other people. I love inspiring and encouraging and all these different things for others. But you know what? My cup must be full for me to pour into others. So for you, make sure that you're not trying to pour from an empty cup. If you're not pouring into yourself and taking care of you in all the areas, that's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of those things, right? Pouring into you in all of these areas so that you're able to truly pour from your cup to help fill others up. That's the way it works. If you have literally nothing in your cup, you're giving nothing to those you desire to help so much. And it doesn't work. In a sense, you both are truly losing. They're not getting what they may need from you. You're not getting what you need from you. Nobody's getting what they want, what they need. And it just does not work. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So pour it up, right? Fill that cup so that you can be able to pour it up. Have a blast, right? Please be sure to fill your cup. Again, it comes from prioritizing you, just making that time just before anything else to take care of you, whatever that looks like. Just start. Like you think like that's too much. That's like I'm telling you, it's not. And you would think your future self will thank you if you actually took care of you first and was able to put your mask on first, right? Prioritizing that to take care of others. 100% your future self will thank you because you just see, just try it out, right? Try it out. Today is the day already. The day has started. This episode is released early enough. Maybe you just starting your day. Try tomorrow, right? Try tomorrow with getting up maybe 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes earlier than the others in your house. 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, whatever that looks like for you, in a whole hour, whatever that is that you need to really pour into you. That might be listening to your favorite music. That might be doing some type of reading, some devotional, some whatever, right? You might pouring into you may look like, first thanking God. That's what I believe first. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I thank God, and then I take care of me for sure. But that may look like you listening to these podcasts or other things to really pour into your spirit, your soul, to help you get through your day, make your day a lot smoother. Just doing that first, your future self will thank you, right? Uh, Again, some of that stuff may look like, uh, maybe getting some exercise in, or one of the things that I've been doing more so recently is truly, truly making my sleep a priority. There's a lot going on in my life right now, right? I'm in a mastermind. I'm in which is a year long. I have a business coach that's helping with the development of my coaching program, right? So, and that's a year long program, but it doesn't take a year long to get the things done. Either way, I mean, these things. So between these, and then of course I have my everyday life. I'm a wife, right? I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. All these different things, right? And then stuff that I have going on. I'm an entrepreneur. I have things going on, but in the midst of all these things, I have coaching calls, right? I have accountability calls. I have these like pop up calls and these events and different things that go along with my everyday life and how my life is. And but recently, I realized that you know what, I must prioritize getting my rest, which is my rest, my sleep. To me, I coupled those things together. They're different technically, but really getting my rest and my sleep because, again, I can't pour from an empty cup. If I come on this podcast and be here all tired and groggy or just whatever, like the message that needs to be out there that I pray for to be used to deliver wouldn't necessarily get out there the way it should be because I'm not taking care of myself. So it's important that when I feel really tired and sleepy and whatever, like maybe, okay, today is the day. Maybe I don't necessarily get up to get on this 5 a.m. call. Maybe I had a later night because my wife wanted to hang out a little bit more because we had all these things going on through the day. So she wanted to chill out and we watch our shows we want to watch. Like sometimes things need to be rearranged to prioritize certain things. Me, I'm a person that I don't necessarily believe in balance per se. I believe in prioritizing. And more than anything else, I would say it here loud, proud to the whole wide world. I believe and I feel and I operate as my wife to me is a priority. Period. Number one priority, actually. So When there's things that I desire to do, the things I want to do, there's things that come up in my schedule, there's people that want to get on my schedule for whatever reason. What I'm doing first is I'm checking, like, okay, do I have the stuff down that I want to do? Like, that is a must for me because I want to prioritize me, right? I put that down in there, like, look, okay, I'm good here. I'm good here. After I check, okay, this won't interfere with XYZ that I want to do. Next, what I'm asking my wife, hey, babe, what's your schedule like? What's your work schedule like? What's your whatever? What do we have planned? Is it something that you want to do during this time? Whatever. Like, that matters to me a lot. So I make sure I get whatever it is that's on my wife's schedule. And if for us, I put it in my schedule. And sometimes I work or we work again. I mentioned before, we kind of do things at the same time. So, like, I may be recording a podcast, you're doing some work stuff or whatever. Like, we schedule it in that way. Again, which is important to me. But prioritizing her as well as all the other things, like, again, there's an order. Some days certain priorities like might be more than the other. Like today, up, babe, your number one priority. But we watched 3 hours yesterday of this show. Today, I want to make sure that I'm doing 2-3 hours of XYZ. All right. But again, communicating that's important. You can't just go out and just be like, oh, just gonna prioritize me and expect everything to be all so well in your house, in your home. Right. So I should have prefaced with saying that stuff. Make sure you make you a priority, but communicate that to those around you, right? That's all part of effective communication when it comes to these boundaries, right? That's how it works. That's how it becomes effective and healthy. It's that you see what you need, and what do? You add things in according to what you need, working them things around you, and prioritizing what needs to be a priority at the moment. Make sure you're doing that now. Again, I told you I'm in all these different like things, not sounds, whatever, but not all these different things. These high level things, I'll say it like that because it's not a whole lot of different things. It's just really two main things, but it's really at a high level. So I'm operating in these spaces. I'm adding value to my communities, things of that sort. But also, what I realize is that what happens sometimes for me in my self care, I needed to take a step back for me to propel forward, right? So again, we have these different calls. I have coaching calls. I have accountability calls. I have, all these different things, right? My schedule is my schedule in the midst of us traveling and doing all these other things. But with that, I realized that, you know what? Today, truly, I'm not going to get on this call. Right now, I don't need any more information. It's imperative that I operate and execute and implement the information I already have now. So right now, I just need to take a step back, make things happen, and then rejoin. One of the good things that I have in these communities, what we have in these communities is that we record these calls and things of that sort. I can go check it out later. Like in my life, it may not be a priority today, but that information is something that I'll need later. Hey, I'll just go check the replay. And sometimes you just need to go check the replay. You may not need to be doing it in that exact moment because there's other priorities. Again, this isn't about, well, I should mention, this isn't about just like, you know what? No, forget all that other stuff. It's just, I don't want to do XYZ and I won't type thing. Like, that's not the message. I really pray that that's not what you're hearing here. Now, I must say there are times for that because there are times I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to do no business stuff. I'm not about to do no calls today. I'm not coaching today. I'm not doing any of that stuff today. Today, is a Netflix and Hulu day. I need to just decompress, relax, and just let my brain roam. Sometimes it's not even just putting on a Netflix and Hulu. It's just me sitting in silence and letting my mind really, really truly letting God speak to me and me hearing not only God, but the ideas and things that I already have in me, letting that come out and be right there. That's part of me taking my self-care serious. Like it's important. And again, I'm working through some of these things, like, cause me, oh, I won't even touch on that. I'll save that for another episode. But there's things that I'm working through, to just making sure that I find that groove, that rhythm that works for me, right? And sometimes that's what it looks like. But through it all, again, self-care is not selfish. I'm not telling you ever to necessarily, totally, wholeheartedly, in all that you do, to operate in isolation. Do not totally operate in isolation. You will need some me time. You will need time that you can just gather your thoughts, like just hearing you. It's just you and God, nobody else. There will be times with that, but also just making sure you stay connected in that way. Self care is not selfish, and it's necessary. So don't get it twisted. I just, you know what? I'm just, I'm just start right there, because I don't want the messages to get crossed. And there's something that just came to me that I want to speak more on, but I'll just save it for another episode. The main message here today is self care is not selfish. You must prioritize you and put your mask on first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're doing the things that will fill you up so that you're able to pour into others. Self care is not selfish. Get that. The main message today for you, I've already given you things that you can do today or implement in your morning that can make a difference. Something else you may do, like maybe your morning don't allow that and you don't want to get up earlier. Hey, maybe you take that time on the back end at night just for you, or sometime in middle of the day during like lunchtime or whatever it is whatever that looks like for you in your day, spacing those things out, like whatever that looks like for you. But you must take some time out for you, doing the things that make you smile, that bring you joy, that does have nothing to necessarily do with your job or your work. Like if that's the things that you want to do that brings you extreme joy, happiness, peace, hey, go for it. Again, whatever that looks like for you, but making sure that you're prioritizing you, the things that you want, the things that you desire, that's what's important. Self-care is not selfish. That's all I got for you today. That's it. Man, I just I want to go into so many different directions, but again, I just put those in another episode to elaborate. So, yeah. I'll wait for that. Look, you all go out and have an amazingly beautiful day. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Comment and let me know how, if these episodes have been blessing you in any way, any of them. Let me know that. And if there's something that you would like for me to go more into, let me know that as well. It'll definitely be considered here, because I want to make sure I'm giving you all the information and discussing the things that you truly are desiring to hear. It's important to me, in addition to the messages that I received to speak about. But yeah, be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Chas Abraham. I got a surprise for you. So see you then.